Hey guys, Chris here with StepMassive, and today we're looking at 5 ultralight backpacking gear upgrades to shave ounces off your base weight. And they're all under $25 each. And some of them are under $5. So if you're looking to cut weight from your pack without spending the big bucks, like dropping $600 on a Dyneema tent, here's some simple budget-friendly swaps that'll help you slash that base weight without sacrificing comfort or breaking the bank. All right, so if you've got a standard battery-operated headlamp like this one from Petzl, weighs about 3 ounces, swap it out for an ultralight USB rechargeable headlamp. This is the Nightcore NU25 headlamp with the shock cord attachment instead of the regular headband. Weighs 1.6 ounces. And there's also an even lighter version, the NU20, that's just a little less bright for 1.34 ounces or 34 grams. You can actually buy both headlamps with the shock cord attachment already on. When I got this one, it didn't come with that feature, so I actually made this one myself. Or you can buy them with a standard headband, and both models still come in under 2 ounces. They're USB rechargeable, so you don't need to bring any extra batteries. For me, if I fully charge this before my trip, it easily lasts me on a 2 to 3 night backpacking trip on one charge, unless I'm doing like some night hiking or something. They've got multiple brightness levels, red light with a couple levels of brightness, and a strobe effect that I really like for emergency situations. They're tiltable, so super easy to adjust, and this is one of my favorite backpacking items. The NU20 is currently on Amazon for about $25. And guys, I'll be throwing links to all the gear items we're discussing in this video in the description below if you want to check them out. Next up, let's talk about fuel. So if you've got a standard fuel stove like this MSR Pocket Rocket 2, the stove plus the full fuel canister together weighs over 10 ounces or about 300 grams. So consider switching out your standard canister fuel stove for an ultralight alcohol stove. You can buy one pre-made on Amazon like this Kuvik titanium stove, which costs $24 and only weighs 1.1 ounces or 30 grams. Or you can do the DIY Fancy Feast alcohol stove for $1 to $2 using a standard cat food can. Take a hole puncher, punch some holes in it, and you've got an alcohol stove that weighs 0.2 ounces or just 6 grams. These guys use denatured alcohol, or believe it or not, you can also use antifreeze in the yellow heat bottle that you can get at just about any gas station for a couple bucks. So super easy to find fuel for these guys. And it takes about 1 ounce of fuel to boil 2 cups of water. So you can kind of figure out before your trip how much fuel you're gonna need, and then you just have to bring that amount. And if you're primarily going to be boiling water in your trip, you can also make a super cat where you put 2 rows of holes, and that way the alcohol burns faster and hotter. Now, generally speaking, it is gonna take about 10 minutes to boil 2 cups of water with an alcohol stove, so they do take longer than a fuel canister stove. But the cool thing is they burn completely silent. So you're not listening to that roaring jet sound from your jet boil or your pocket rocket that's echoing throughout the entire campsite. So you can boil your water in complete silence and listen to the wind and the birds and the creek rolling by, and that's something I do really like. Now keep in mind that when using an alcohol stove, you will need a windscreen. I use this one from Tokes. It's a titanium windscreen that weighs 0.5 ounces or 14 grams. Or you can also make one yourself using heavy duty aluminum foil. So the windscreen plus the Fancy Feast alcohol stove comes in at 0.7 ounces or 20 grams, which is still less than 1/3 the weight of the MSR Pocket Rocket alone. And by the way, guys, if you're into ultralight backpacking and want more trail tested tips and hacks like these, consider hitting the subscribe button. I release new videos every week sharing practical backpacking advice for both beginner and experienced backpackers. So if you're like me and you want to do everything you can to lower your base weight, but you're not quite willing to sacrifice an inflatable pillow, this one's for you. So you guys may be familiar with the Sea to Summit inflatable pillows. They're super popular. The standard version weighs about 3 ounces. This is the ultralight version. It weighs 2 ounces, but it costs 50 bucks. Nah. This is the Lightsmith Super Ultralight inflatable pillow that costs less than $3. It comes in 2 sizes, the large, which weighs 0.9 ounces, and there's also a smaller version at 0.5 ounces or 14 grams. You blow these things up with a straw, and they're actually pretty darn comfortable. Now, when I first bought this, I bought a 3-pack for like $6. I was pretty wary about the durability. I was kind of assuming they'd just be like disposable more or less. But I actually took my first pillow on over 20 backpacking trips and I did not have a single leak. I was super impressed. The only reason I got rid of my first one is it just got too dirty. I mean, these things are white, so they do get dirty a little bit more than other pillows, but I was shocked that this thing lasted over 20 backpacking trips and was still going strong. Now, like I said, you do need a straw to inflate these, so if you are bringing one of these out, I do recommend tossing an extra straw in your pack just in case. And if you are worried about durability, man, these are so light and so cheap, you could totally pack a second one as a backup and you'd still be saving over an ounce over the ultralight ones from Sea to Summit. Super impressed with this pillow. All right, next up, let's talk about tents. So as you're probably aware, most tent manufacturers recommend that you use a ground sheet or a footprint underneath your tent to help with durability and waterproofing. The problem is they usually sell these separately from the tent and they're often overpriced at $50 to $100. For example, I have the Big Agnes Copper Spur Ultralight 2-person tent, and the Big Agnes Ultralight footprint for my tent weighs 5 ounces or 142 grams and costs $80. So instead of one of those, consider going with a Polycro plastic ground sheet. These are waterproof, lighter, and way cheaper. You can get a pre-made one on Amazon from 6 Moon Designs for under $20 at 1.5 ounces or 42 grams. Or you can make your own, like I did. Polycro is typically sold on Amazon branded as window insulation sheets. They go for around 15 bucks and you can then cut it down to fit your exact tent size. After I cut mine down, it came out to about 2.5 ounces, which is half the weight of the Big Agnes footprint. And if you are gonna make your own and cut it down, I recommend that you cut it slightly smaller than the diameter of your tent. You want the water on your tent to drip down and land on the ground and soak into the ground and not land on the ground sheet. So this tip alone can save you several ounces for only 15 to 20 bucks. All right, guys, so I don't know about you, but when I'm on a backpacking trip, I still try to at least make an attempt to stay clean out there. So you've probably seen these little 2-ounce travel size bottles for bringing soap. I used to carry one on every trip filled with Dr. Bronner's soap, which is great, by the way. But even a 2-ounce travel size bottle like this is still overkill for a backpacking trip, and fully loaded, it comes in at 2.5 ounces or 73 grams. So I switched to one of these super tiny 0.1 liter dropper bottles that fully loaded weighs 0.15 ounces or 5 grams. You can also get these on lightsmith.com, and no, I'm not sponsored or anything, it's just a cool website, but they sell a few different sizes and each bottle costs around $1. These tiny ones are perfect for Dr. Bronner's soap because it's concentrated soap, so you only need 2 to 3 drops to wash your hands really well. And if you get one of the bigger sizes, which is still pretty tiny, you can also use them for things like hand sanitizer, sunscreen, or even cooking oil. This is another super cheap hack at basically $1 that has allowed me to shave over 2 ounces off my base weight while still bringing plenty of soap for a full trip. So there you have it, guys. 5 ultralight gear upgrades that are super simple, easy, and cost effective. And if you're interested in checking out my full ultralight gear list, you can find it on my website, StepMassive.com. So if you tried any of these items or got your own favorite ultralight hacks, drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear what's working for you. All right, that's it for today. Get outside, stay safe, keep those packs light, and I'll see you out there.